Buying a home, it's supposed to be this amazing milestone, right? But for so many people, the biggest financial shock isn't the mortgage. Nope, it's the wave of steep, totally unexpected costs that come crashing down right after you get the keys. So today, we're going to break down what those costs are and why so many new homeowners get caught completely off guard.
So let's kick things off with a feeling that's super common, but nobody really likes to talk about it. It's that moment of shock and, yeah, sometimes even regret that hits new homeowners when they get their first massive unplanned repair bill.
And just look at the scale of this problem. We're talking about nearly half of all first-time buyers. Think about that for a second. This isn't some rare fringe issue. It's a widespread problem where that initial excitement of owning a new home can get totally steamrolled by financial anxiety.
Which, of course, brings us to the big question. It's one thing to talk about a feeling, but what are we actually talking about in dollars and cents? Let's peel back the curtain and look at the hard numbers.
All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. We're going to quantify this problem and see what the real financial impact of home maintenance actually looks like. Okay, just look at that number, $12,225. Seriously, let that sink in. You've just made the biggest purchase of your entire life, and bam, within that first year, you could get hit with an additional bill this large. It's a staggering amount, and frankly, it's a gut punch that very few new homeowners are ready for.
And here's the kicker. This is not a one-and-done kind of problem. After that initial shock wears off, the costs just keep coming. On average, homeowners are spending close to $6,000 every single year just to keep things running. The takeaway here is crucial. This isn't a one-time hit. It's an ongoing expense you have to plan for year after year.
So where's all this cash going? Well, take a look. Your AC system goes out? That could be over $6,600 right there. Heating system? Another $5,500. You can see how just one of these big-ticket items failing can completely wipe out that annual budget, and then some. These aren't little fixes. These are major financial events.
And this financial pressure doesn't just exist in a vacuum, It creates this ripple effect that complicates the entire real estate transaction for everyone sitting at the table.
And this right here really brings it all home. That word, panic. When 1 out of every 3 homeowners admits they literally panic when something breaks, well, that tells you everything you need to know. This isn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet. It's about real, human stress that can absolutely derail buyer confidence and turn negotiations into a battle. So you end up with these pressure points all over the place. Buyers, understandably, get way more cautious. They start second-guessing everything. Sellers, they're facing much tougher negotiations, especially if their house isn't brand new. And the agents, they're stuck right in the middle, trying to play therapist and keep the whole deal from falling apart.
Okay, so we've painted a pretty stressful picture, I know. We've got the problem, the big scary numbers, and that ripple effect. But now, let's pivot and talk about the other side of the coin. Let's talk about a solution. There are actually tools out there designed to manage this kind of financial shock.
And one of the biggest tools for this is something called a home warranty. The easiest way to think about it is like a financial safety net or a shield, right? It's basically a service contract that says, hey, if one of these major systems or appliances that we cover breaks, we've got your back for the repair or replacement. So instead of that shocking $6,000 bill appearing out of nowhere, you have a plan.
But what's really interesting here is how a tool like this can create a win not just for the buyer, but for everyone involved in the deal. It's kind of a game changer. Let's break that down. For the buyer, it's pretty obvious, right? It's peace of mind. It's budget protection on covered items. Simple. For the seller, though, think about it. Offering a warranty can make a buyer feel way more confident about their purchase. It can make your deal look stronger, smoother. And for the agent, it becomes this incredible tool to help navigate those tough conversations and just keep the whole thing moving forward. It's a win-win-win.
This all leads us to our final and maybe most important point. In today's market, knowing all this stuff isn't just helpful, it's a real, tangible competitive advantage.
So, what's the game plan? It's all about being proactive. Whether you're a buyer, a seller, or an agent, you want to be the one educating people on these costs. You want to be talking about budgeting strategies and using tools to get ahead of any of those nasty post-sale surprises. When you do that, you position yourself as the problem solver, and that builds a ton of trust.
And that leaves us with this one big question to chew on. In a market where costs just keep going up, is this kind of financial preparedness the new curb appeal? I mean, a house that looks great is one thing, for sure. But a house that comes with a built-in plan for financial security? Well, that might just be the most attractive feature of all.